What's up, y'all? So let's talk about post-workout nutrition. It's a huge topic among everybody who steps in the gym. If you don't know about post-workout nutrition, I don't know why you even work out. I'm just playing. But it's very important. So there's a lot of bro science and there's a lot of lab science. And let's see if we can mix the two of those together to kind of give you an idea of what might work for you or what you feel works for you. Now, mind you, you would have to practice your certain choice of activity for post-workout nutrition or your sort of regimen for 8 to 12 weeks to be even able to notice that it's doing something for you. Some of you may be a little bit shorter if you've been doing this thing for a little while, but if you're kind of more a beginner or just getting started, then yeah, you're going to have to do it for a while to kind of be able to tell. So first off, let's start with some science. Science says that anywhere from 5 to 7 grams of leucine post-workout will optimize muscle protein synthesis. Layne Norton does a lot of research on that. Now, what I just said, for some of you who don't know, is leucine is what we consider a branch chain amino acid. It is an amino acid that specifically has been studied and shown in studies to trigger muscle recovery and growth, pretty much, which is also what we consider muscle protein synthesis. Whey protein is a great source of leucine. That's why it's so big in the bodybuilding, weightlifting, fitness industry, because whey protein, compared to a lot of other proteins, has the highest concentration of leucine per 100 gram serving. I've looked all that stuff up, so if you want to look it up, verify it, be my guest, but I've done it already. But to get 7 grams of leucine from whey, you need to take about 75 to 90 grams of protein, depending on what protein supplement you take. That's a lot. So how do we combat that? You take some BCAAs. I don't have mine here. Actually, I do have mine here. Let me show you, because I actually take this stuff. BCAAs. Okay? What I find is cool is you get, most products are going to be 2 to 1 to 1 ratio with leucine. So regardless of that fact, you want to make sure that you're getting in, let's say about 4 to 5 grams of leucine from just a BCAA supplement, and maybe add in 1.5 scoops to 2 scoops of whey, depending on how much muscle you have. That is very scientific, but that also follows into the bro science category, where most guys are like, yeah, take 2 to 3 scoops of whey protein. So we have a meshing of the two worlds right there. A lot of people will say take your BCAAs intra-workout. I'm not going to talk about that on this video. We'll talk about that on another one, because that's a whole nother topic. So let's move on from the amino acids, which are extremely important. So make sure you take them. Don't let that fact be overshadowed. Make sure you take your BCAAs, because they absorb a lot faster than a whey protein. But studies also show mixed with whey protein, you elongate the amount of time that muscle protein synthesis takes place, which is a good thing. So BCAAs and whey protein, same time post-workout. Next, let's talk about carbohydrates. This is where the two industries kind of go apart. A lot of the studies done on post-workout nutrition for carbohydrates are done on endurance athletes in the past. I'm not too privy on anything that's really recent as far as like this past year or two. I lost access to a lot of my science databases from when I was in college. But a lot of them have been done on endurance athletes, which obviously they're going to need some carbs after a workout due to what they're doing. But I haven't seen any conclusive studies done on carbohydrate or glycogen depletion from weight training for like a 45-minute to an hour weight training session for somebody who's got a lot of muscle. I haven't seen anything conclusive. So, do you need carbs post-workout? It's up to you, really. What you can do is spike insulin, but there's also been some other studies that show that insulin has no function or action with shuttling more protein to muscle cells or whatever. So, do you need carbs post-workout? It's up to you. I think if you're trying to put on some mass, yeah, you need them because overall daily caloric intake, it's going to help you. But if you're trying to cut weight, I don't necessarily think you need a whole ton of carbs post-workout. But again, that's what I think, and that's what I feel, and I've noticed when I do that, it's a lot different. I get different results than when I do. So it's up to you. If you want to add a little bit of carbs, like something like a Carbolin or a Vitargo, really good supplements, or like a white rice or potatoes, even pineapples, things like that, you can always do that. It's up to you what you want to do. Again, go off of how you feel, but the lab science says that you need it, some bro science says you do, and some says you don't. So kind of figure out where you're at with that. But do not ever neglect your whey and BCAAs post-workout. Those are staples. You need those. I'm telling you, you need those. Carbohydrates, for the other matter, are up in the air. Fats. Do not take fat post-workout unless you have a super fast metabolism and you can't gain weight to save your life. Fats will slow your metabolism down. They are higher in caloric value. They cause the metabolism to slow down, slow things up a little bit. So you don't need fats after workout. I actually do not recommend ever taking fats after workout for up to like 3 hours. Just because the metabolic processes that are taking place post-workout are very important. So no fats post-workout. No peanut butter, no avocado, no olive oil, none of that, no fish. Better to do like a lean meat if you do a meal, which I also will recommend, but keep the fats low. And I like to do my protein shake, whatever, my BCAAs, as I'm leaving the gym, and then when I get back to the office or get back at home, it's a meal, a lean meal, like a lean protein, like a 99 or a lean ground beef, a lean ground turkey, or a chicken breast with some veggies, and usually some carbohydrates. But I prefer to do like complex carbs with that, like sweet potatoes or oatmeal, or whatever tickles you fancy. So that's that about post-workout nutrition. Make sure you get the amino acids in. That for sure is necessary. Carbs, it's up to you. How do you feel? You feel like having carbs, you feel like not? It's up to you. Know your body. Learn your body. That's the most important thing. Fats, no fats. And a meal is, if you're going to do a meal afterwards, make sure you keep it lean and clean. And that's how you stay ripped and mean. Anyways, we'll be back again with some more bro science versus lab science. Alright, y'all.